Good morning, dear students. My name is Ferhan Mazher, and the subject today we are studying is Cambridge IGCSE Physics. This is the standard physics, and the code for the subject is 0625. The paper we have selected today is May-June 2022 2-1 paper. This paper 2 belongs from the zone 1. The paper 2 is all about the multiple choice questions. The time allowed for this paper is 45 minutes, and there are 40 questions. So let's start today's paper. So here we go. So this is that paper, May-June 2022 2-1 paper. The time allowed is 45 minutes. And the G value in this paper, we are going to take as 10 Newton per kg or 10 meter per second square. But in your latest papers, the papers since the 2023, the G value is taken as 9.8. But in this paper, the G value was 10. So let's start. Question number 1 is coming up on your screen. Which measuring devices are most suitable for determining the length of a swimming pool and the thickness of the aluminum foil? The length of the swimming pool should be measured with a tape measure, and the thickness of the aluminum foil is measured with the micrometer screw gauge. So I think B looks the right answer, sir, to me. Question number 1B is the answer, sir. Okay, so we are going to the next question, and the next question coming up on your screen is, the next question is question number 2. He says, a man stands next to a railway track. Okay, let me, okay. A train traveling at 40 meters per second takes 2 seconds to pass the man. What is the length of the train? We know the speed, we know the time, and we can easily find out the distance moved by the train, and that will be equal to the length of the train. So the length of the train will be equal to speed multiplied time. That's 40 meters per second multiplied 2 seconds. That will be 80 meters. That means that the length of the train is 80 meters. So I think it's the D choice. Question number 2. D is the right choice, sir. Question number 3. A speed time graph is used to describe the motion of an object. Which quantities are calculated from the gradient of the graph and from the area under the graph? You see, from the speed time graph, the gradient represents the acceleration, and the area under the graph represents the distance traveled. So I think A is the choice. Question number 3, A is the right choice, sir. Question number 4. On the moon, all objects fall with the same acceleration. Which statement explains this? On the moon, all objects have the same weight. That's wrong. The weight depends upon the mass. So different masses will have different weights. The moon has a smaller gravitational field strength than the Earth, but this does not describe that statement. This statement is true, but it do not describe the original statement. The weight of an object is directly proportional to its mass. You know, W is equals to mg, where g is the gravitational field strength. So that means the weight is directly proportional to the mass of the object in any gravitational field. So C looks the good answer. The weight of an object is inversely proportional to its mass. That is wrong. So question number 4, I think C is the choice. Question number 4, C is the right choice. Question number 5 is coming up on your screen. He says, a measuring cylinder contains 30 centimeter cube of a liquid. Some more of the liquid is added until the liquid level reaches the 50 centimeter cube mark. So the water which they have added is 50 minus 30, that is 20 centimeter cube. The reading on the balance increases by 30 gram. So this 20 centimeter cube's mass is 30 gram. So what is the density of the liquid? You know the density of the liquid is mass divided by volume. So for question number 5, the change in the volume is 50 minus 30, that is 20 centimeter cube. The change in the mass for this volume of the water is 30 gram. Density is equal to the mass of this water divided by the volume of this water. So that is 30 gram divided by 20 centimeter cube. I said water is liquid. So it will be 30 divided by 20, and that is 1.5 grams per centimeter cube. 1.5 grams per centimeter cube. So I think C is the right answer, sir. Question number 5, C is the right answer. Question number 6 is showing up on your screen. An object on the end of a string moves in a clockwise circular path at constant speed. The diagram shows the object as viewed from above. What is the direction of the resultant force on the object when it is in the position shown? You see, whenever an object moves in a circular path, the direction of the resultant force is always towards the center of that circle. The acceleration is also directed towards the center of that circle. So the direction of the resultant force will be towards the center of the circle. So I think A is the choice. So answer is right. Okay, so then we have question number 7. A beam is pivoted at one end as shown. So the center of the gravity is 40 centimeter away from the pivot. That means the total length of this beam will be 40 plus 40. That will be 80. The beam weighs 6 Newton and its weight acts at a point X 40 centimeter from the pivot. The force of the 4 Newton is applied to the beam, causing it to balance horizontally, because this is trying to produce a clockwise movement. So we have to apply force here to produce an anti-clockwise moment to balance this. Okay, so I have to tell how much is the distance of that force from the point X. Okay, so most probably because that force which we have to apply is 4 Newton, which is less than the weight, so its moment arm should be greater than the moment arm of this weight. So very conceptual question. Hopefully I will be able to explain to you how this is done. Okay, so you see here I will apply the force. This is my idea. Okay, so the clockwise moment is equal to the anti-clockwise moment. The clockwise moment is due to the weight. Its moment arm is 40 centimeter. This force, which is 4 Newton, this should be in the upward direction. Why? So that it can produce anti-clockwise moment to balance that clockwise moment, and its moment arm is suppose D. So I want to find out this D first of all. So 6 into 40 divided by 4 is equals to D. So that D value will be 6 centimeters. So this is 6 centimeter. So how much this is? Sorry, 60 centimeter. This is 40 centimeters. So this distance will be 20 centimeters. So the force F, which is 4 Newton, is 20 centimeter to the point on the right side of the force is acting 20 centimeter on the right side of the X in the upward direction. So you see, this is vertically upward at 20 centimeter to the right of the X. So I think D is the choice. A very, very tricky question. And question number 7, D is the right answer. I hope you understand this. Question number 8, on the diagram shown, what is the magnitude of the resultant force of the two vectors? So here we have two vectors whose tails are joined together. The angle between them is 90. This is 6 Newton and this is 8 Newton. So I want to find out their resultant. I have rearranged them. So because they are perpendicular to each other, I'm going to use the triangular method. So I have taken 6 Newton, that vector, and on its head I have put the other vector's tail. So then I join the tail of the first vector with the head of the last vector. That is the head to tail rule, or you can say triangular law. So because it's a right angle triangle, the angle between them is 90 degrees. So I am going to apply the Pythagoras. So resultant square will be equal to 6 square plus 8 square, and that resultant will be equal to the square root of 100, and that is 10. So that means the resultant force will be 10 Newton. So I think C is the choice. Question number 8, C is the choice. Okay. Question number 9, he says, 3 situations are listed. An object has a resultant force acting on it. A moving object experiences an impulse. An object is decelerating. In which situations is the momentum of the object changing? You see, whenever you have a resultant force, your speed will be changing. So the object will have uh, changing momentum. A moving object experiences an impulse. Whenever an impulse is acting, impulse is the change in the momentum itself. So there will be change in the momentum. Third one is an object is decelerating. Decelerating means that your speed is changing. When your speed is changing, it's decreasing basically. So your speed is changing. When your velocity is changing, your momentum will be also changing. So in all of those three situations, we will have a changing momentum. So I think D is the answer, sir. Question number, which question was that? 9, D is the answer. Okay, so we are going to the next part, and the next question is question number on your screen. This is question number 10. He says, okay, so we have to reduce the size. Okay, a ball of mass 0.16 kg is moving forward at a speed of 0.50 meter per second. A second ball of mass 0.10 kg is stationary. The first ball strikes the second ball. The second ball moves forwards at a speed of 0.50 meter per second. What is the speed of the first ball after the collision? You see, the momentum before the collision is equal to the momentum after the collision. That is the conservation of the momentum. So the two bodies we have, and okay, so we have here. Okay, the momentum before the collision will be equal to the momentum after the collision. So that means M1 U1 plus M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. So M1 is 0.16, its speed is 0.5 meter per second before the collision. M2 is 0.1 kg and its speed is 0. After the collision, M1 is 0.16 kg, its velocity is questioned. M2 is 0.10 and its velocity after the collision is 0.50. So just put those values here. So you will have 0.16 multiplied 0.50, that is 0.08. 0.10 multiplied 0, that is 0. 0.16 multiplied V, that is 0.16 V. When you multiply 0.1 with the 0.5, you get 0.05. So you will have 0.16 V equals to 0.08 minus 0.05. So 0.16 V will be equal to 0.03. So V will be equal to 0.03 divided by 0.16. And that velocity will be equal to 0.1879 meters per second. In two significant figures, it will be 0.19 meter per second. 0.19 meter per second. So I think B is the answer, sir. Question number 10, I think B is the right answer. So we have here the right answer. Question number 10, B is the right answer. Question number 11, a mass hangs vertically from a spring. The mass is raised to a point P and it is then released. So you move the spring upward, it means you compress the spring. Then the mass oscillates repeatedly between the point P. So it's going up, down, P is here, the Q is here. So it's moving up and down. So the P is the highest point and the P is the lowest point in its vibration. So what they say? They say which energies alternately increase and decrease throughout the oscillation. You see there are three energies involved: the elastic potential energy, the gravitational potential energy, and the kinetic energy. So they are changing values with each other. Here we have a spring. Here the body is going up and the body is going down. Its speed is changing in this process. So it has gravitational potential energy, it has kinetic energy, and it has elastic energy. So to me, the A is the right option, sir. Question number 11, A is the right option. Question number 12 is coming up on your screen. He says a car has a kinetic energy of 620 kilojoules. The car brakes and stops in a distance of 91 meters. What is the average braking force acting on the car? You see, the idea is very simple. The work done is the frictional force multiplied the distance moved under that frictional force. by the body, and the work done is also equals to the change in the kinetic energy. When you apply brakes, your kinetic energy, for example, from 620 kilojoules, it will go to 0 kilojoules. So the work done is equal to the change in the kinetic energy, and the work done is equals to F multiplied D. From there, I can find the value of the F. Kinetic energy at the start is 620 kilojoules. At the end, the kinetic energy is 0. So the change in the kinetic energy is 620 kilojoules. The work done is also equals to the work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. Work done is also equals to the force multiplied the distance. The force is frictional force, which is 91 Newton, and sorry, the distance is 91 meter, and the force is question. So the work done is equals to 620 expo 3. I have converted that kilojoules into joules. So the F will be equals to 620,000 divided by 91, and that is 6813.19 Newton. In the two significant figures, it will be 6,800 Newton. 6,800 Newton. I think C is the choice. Question number 12, C is the choice, which is right. So question number 3. Question number 13, sorry. The diagram shows a deep reservoir formed by a dam. On what does the pressure at the X depend? You know, the pressure due to the water depends upon the depth of the water above the point X, the density of the water, and it depends upon the gravitational field strength. So at the depth of the water at the X, this is the right answer. The length of the reservoir, no. The surface area of the water, no. The thickness of the dam wall, no. So I think question number 13, A is the choice, which is the right choice, sir. Question number 14, a sealed rigid container has a fixed volume. So the volume is not changing. So the volume is not changing. This word is very, very important. The container is filled with air. The container is placed in a freezer cabinet, and the temperature of the container decreases. So when the temperature will decrease, the pressure of the gas will also decrease, but the volume of the gas is not changing. When the volume of the gas do not change, the distance between the molecules or the particles of the gas do not change. So average distance between the air particles, that will not change. Average speed of the air particles, because the temperature is decreasing, so their kinetic energy is decreasing. That means their speed is decreasing. So the average distance between the air particle, no change because the fixed volume, and the average speed of the air particle decreases because the temperature is decreasing, which means their speed is decreasing. So I think D is the right answer, sir. Question number 14, D is the right answer. Here we have question number 15, and he says, two open containers are filled with the water at room temperature. The containers have different shapes. From which container does the water evaporate at a greater rate, and how can the rate of evaporation be increased? You see, in the container number 1, the surface area, the top surface area of the water is larger than the top surface area of the liquid in the container number 2. The rate of evaporation depends upon the container number, on the surface area of the liquid. So the rate of evaporation in the container 1 will be greater because it has larger surface area of the liquid. So I think container 1 will have the greater rate of evaporation. How the rate of evaporation can be increased? If you increase the temperature of that liquid, the rate of the evaporation will increase. So I think B is the choice, sir. Question number 15, B is the choice, sir. I hope you understand this. I'm trying to explain you the concepts that why we are taking that option. Okay, the diagram, question number 16, the diagram shows a liquid in glass thermometer. A student wishes to check the marking of the upper fixed point on this thermometer. What should she do? If you want to find out the upper fixed point, the upper fixed point is when the bulb of the liquid is in the steam of the boiling water. Then because the temperature of the steam of the boiling water is 100 degree centigrade, and that's why so it will, the level of mercury will go to the 100. So put the bulb in a beaker of the boiling pure water, not the seawater. Okay, seawater will have higher, I think, higher boiling point. I think its boiling point will be different. I don't know higher or lower. So I think B, question number 16, B is the answer, sir. You see, to mark the upper fixed point on a thermometer, we always put the bulb of the thermometer in the boiling water, pure boiling water. Water, question number 17. Water in a beaker gains thermal energy at a rate of 300 watt. The water is at its boiling point. The specific latent heat of vaporization of the water is 2260 joules per gram. How long does it take for 250 gram of the water to vaporize? You see, the latent heat of specific latent heat of vaporization is given. The amount of the water we want to vaporize it is 250 gram. So I can find out the heat needed for this purpose. Heat is equals to ml. Once I know how much heat is needed, then I know the power of the energy at which the energy is provided. From that power, and if I know the amount of heat needed, I can tell how much is the time taken. So very simple question number 17. Let me show you my work. Okay. So here we have question number 17. He says heat will be equals to ml, that amount of the heat required to evaporate that water at its boiling point. So 250 multiplied 2260, that will be 56500 joules. Now we know the power, that is equal to heat divided by time. So the time will be equals to heat divided by the power. So that will be 56500 divided by 3000, and that is 188 seconds. So the time taken is 188 seconds. Time taken is 188 seconds. So I think that the B is the choice. Question number 17, I think B is the choice. I think question number 17, B is the choice, sir. That's right choice. Question number next, that is question number 18. A glass contains an iced drink on a warm and humid day. Water starts to form on the outside of the glass. What is the name of the effect by which the water forms? You see, the water which is in the air is in the gaseous form. When it comes in contact with this surface, which is very cold, that gaseous water converts into the liquid water. This gaseous water, when it converts into liquid water, this process is called condensation. So I think A is the choice. Question number 18, A is the choice, sir. Okay, so we are going to the next question, and that is question number 19. He says, one end of a copper bar is heated to a high temperature. Which mechanism is responsible for the transfer of thermal energy to the other end of the copper bar? You see, the copper bar is a solid, and it is also a metal. So by the conduction, the heat is transferred from the hot end to the cold end through the in the copper bar, you see. And there are two things which happens: the vibration of the copper molecules and the movement of the free electrons from the hot end to the cold end. The lattice vibration of the copper ions and the movement of high energy electrons along the bar. That B statement is the best statement given there. Question number 19. I think B is the answer, sir. That is the right answer, sir. We are going to the next question. That is question number. Okay. So the next question on your screen is question number 20. He says, the diagram shows a convection current caused by a piece of ice placed in a beaker of water at room temperature. Which row correctly compares the temperature and densities of water points P and the Q? Temperature at the P, the temperature will be lower than the temperature at the Q. And the density at the P will be higher than the density at the Q. You see, The water which rises here, this is cold, so the cold water comes down and the hot water goes up. So the water here is hot and the water here is cold. So the water here has higher density and the water here has lower density. So the temperature at the P is lower than at Q, and the density at the P is higher than at Q. So I think C is the choice. This is hot water, this is cold water. This is convection current due to cooling from the top. So C looks the. Sorry, there is an interruption in the internet that happens usually. Okay, so we are on the question number 21. The diagram shows a wave and we have a displacement distance graph of that wave. So, this is a displacement distance graph. On the y-axis, the displacement is shown. On the x-axis, the distance is given. From this graph, very easily, you can tell the amplitude. And from this graph, you can tell the wavelength. You see, what is the wavelength here from this point to this point? A wave is completed. So this horizontal distance is telling me the wavelength, and that wavelength is 8 centimeter. And the amplitude is from the mean position how high you go, or from the mean position how low you go, and that is 1. So the amplitude of the wave is 1 centimeter, and the wavelength of the wave is 8 centimeter. So I think B is the right choice. Question number 21. B is the right choice. Okay, so we have question number 22 on your screen. A sound wave is created by a loudspeaker that vibrates backwards and forwards 96,000 times per minute. Per minute means we don't take the time in minutes, we will take the time in seconds. So from here, I can calculate the frequency. Frequency will be the number of vibrations divided by the time taken. So that will be 96,000 divided by 60 seconds. Once I know the frequency, the speed of the sound is given, that is 320 meter per second, then I can find the wavelength. The question is, what is the wavelength of the sound wave? Very easy and straightforward question. So question number 22 is coming up on your screen. Here we go. So the frequency will be the number of vibrations divided by the time taken. So, but time I will take not in 1 minute, I will take 60 seconds. So 96,000 divided by 60, that is 1600 hertz. The velocity is 320 meter per second. Now the wavelength will be equals to, I will use the wave equation, that is V equals to F lambda. So lambda will be equals to V divided by F. That is 320 meter per second divided by 1600 hertz. And the answer is 0.2 meter. 0.2 meter. Do we have that answer? Yes, 0.2 meter is the A choice. Question number 22. A is the right choice, sir. A card is placed in front of a plane mirror so that its label is facing the mirror as shown. So we're talking about a plane mirror. Whenever an image is formed in the plane mirror, the image is upright. Image is laterally inverted. That means the left appears to be right, right appears to be left. How the label is shown, C and I is written there. How does the image of the label formed by the mirror? I will appear on this side, C will appear on this side. Otherwise it will be upside, up, 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 up. The right will become left, left will become right. I think C is the right choice, sir. Very simple, straightforward, famous question. C, question number 23. C is the right answer, sir. Okay, question number 24 is showing up on your screen. A thin converging lens can produce both real and virtual images. Which row describes the real and virtual image? The real image is actually formed by the light rays. and the virtual image cannot be projected on a screen. A real image can be projected on a screen. Rays converge to form the image, that's the real image, and image cannot be projected on a screen. That's the definition of the virtual image. So I think the best answer is B choice. Question number 24, B is the right choice, sir. Okay. So we have question number 25. It says the speed of light in the air is 3 × 8 meters per second. The critical angle for light in a transparent plastic material placed in the air is 37 degrees. What is the speed of the light in the plastic material? To find the refractive index, we have two different formulae. One is that the n is equals to 1 divided by sine c. Another formula for the n is speed of light in the air divided by the speed of light in that medium. So I know the critical angle, that's 37 degrees. I can find its refractive index. Once I know the n value, the refractive index value, I know the speed of light in the air, then I can find the speed of light in the plastic. Let me show you. Question number 25. So here we have, so n will be equals to 1 divided by the sine c. N is equal to 1 by sine 37, that is 1.7. And the refractive index, this formula is also speed of light in the air divided by the speed of light in the plastic. So 1.7 will be equals to 3 × 8 divided by V. V will be equals to 3 × 8 divided by 1.7, and that will be 1.8 × 8 meter per second. So A is the choice. Question number 25, A is the choice. That is right. Okay. Question number 26, which part of electromagnetic spectrum is used by a remote controller for a television? It's a very, very famous use of the infrared waves. The infrared waves are used in the TV remote control. Question number 26, A is the choice. Question number 27 is coming up on your screen. He says, which statement correctly compares radio waves and the X-rays? The radio waves and the X-rays, they both have the same speed in the air, which is 3 × 8 meters per second. That's the property of the transverse electromagnetic waves. And the wavelength of the radio waves is larger than the wavelength of the X-rays. The frequency of the radio waves is less than the frequency of the X-rays. So the radio waves has a longer wavelength and the same speed in a vacuum. Their speed is same, okay? All the electromagnetic waves have the same speed. So I think B is the choice, which is right. So here we have question number 28. A student counts how many iron pins an electromagnet picks up when its power supply is switched on. Then she counts how many pins are picked up when the power supply is switched off. She repeats the experiment using cores made of different materials. The results are shown. Which core is made out of soft iron? When we use soft iron as the core in the electromagnet, so when you switch on the current, it will become magnet. It will pick up a lot of iron pins. But when you will when you will open the switch, when you will stop that supply of the current, so what will happen? The soft iron will immediately lose its magnetism. That is very easily demagnetized. It loses all its magnetic properties immediately. So all the pins will drop. So pins picked up with the power supply on, it should be picking up so many pins. But when the power supply is off, all the pins should go down. So if you will use your common sense, it should be D. I think this is question number 28. 28, D is the choice, sir. That is right. Question number 28, D is the choice. Okay. So we are going to the next part. That is question number 29. Question number 29. Okay, he says a plastic rod is brought near to a small plastic sphere suspended from a stand. The sphere is repelled by the rod. Okay, so if they repel each other, why is this? If they are charged, you see, the both should have the same charge, the rod and the metal and the sphere. That's why they will be repelling, because the like charges repel each other. So I think A is the good option, sir. The rod and the sphere have like charge. That's why they repel each other. The like charges repel each other. Question number 29. A is the best answer, sir. Okay, so we have here question number 30. He says, which unit is the equivalent to a volt? Volt is basically energy divided by charge. Energy divided by charge. So it will be joule per coulomb. So B is the option. That's the definition. Definition of the volt. Energy divided by charge. The energy per unit charge. Joules per coulomb. B is the answer, sir. Question number 30, B is the right answer. So we have then question number 31. He says a resistor converts 360 joule of energy when there is a current of 3 ampere in it. The potential difference across the resistors is 6 volt. For how long is there this current in the resistor? You know the electric energy is equals to IVT. T is the question. IVT. Let me show you. Energy is equals to IVT. I is the current, V is the voltage drop, T is the time. Energy is energy. 360 is equals to 3 multiplied by 6 into T. So the T will be 360 divided by 18. That is 20 seconds. So that is for 20 seconds. So I think B is the choice, sir. Question number 31. B is the right choice. Then we have question number 32. A little tricky question. Okay, the four circuits shown each contains four diodes. In which circuit is the direction of the current in the resistor always from the red terminal to the black terminal? Okay, so let me show. Let me just try to show you. Okay, so when the current will come from this side, suppose the current is coming from here. Okay, so it cannot go in this direction, so it will have to go in this direction. Okay, then it cannot go in this direction because of this, it's opposite to that arrow. So the current will go this way, and then it will go this way, red to black, and then it will go this way. Okay. I'm sorry for the interruption. This is due to the internet that happens. So the current will go in this direction. Then it cannot go in this direction because here it has high voltage. This current will have low voltage. So the current do not go from the low voltage to the high voltage. It always goes from the high voltage to the current will go from here. It cannot go in this way because here the current has high voltage. And then it will go in this way. Okay. You understand? Okay. Now, when the current will come, sorry, sorry. Okay. Now the current will come from the other side. Okay. When the current will come from this, because it's alternating current. So the current will go in this direction. I'm representing it with the green color. Current cannot go in this direction because of this diode, which is backward for this current. So what will happen? The current will come here. Here they do not have electric connection. So the current obviously will go in this direction. Current cannot go in this direction now. So the current will go in this direction. Then the current will go in this direction from red to black terminal. then the current will go in this direction. Then the current cannot go in this direction, although the diode is in the right direction, because here the current will have high voltage, but this current will have low voltage because it has passed through this resistor. Then the current will go definitely in this direction, and then the current will go in this direction. And it will go in this direction. So I think A is the choice. Look at their options, what they said. They said, in which circuit is the direction of the current in the resistor always from the red terminal to the black terminal, whether the current starts from it goes clockwise or it goes anti-clockwise. Through that resistor, the current is always from the red terminal to the black terminal. That is the A option, sir. In the other options, it will not be possible. Question number 32, A is the option, sir. Question number 32, A is the right option. If you will try this thing on B, C, and D, it will not happen. So, question number 32, A is the right choice, sir. Okay. So, we are going to the next question. That is question number 33. Okay. Question number 33 on your screen. He says the diagram shows a circuit of 6 identical lamps connected to a battery. Which lamps are brightest? Achha. So the lamp which is brightest will have the largest power consumed by it. So the largest amount of voltage drop will be here because here their resistance is lower because there are two resistors connected in parallel. Here even the resistors, the resistance of this whole combination is less because there are 3 lamps connected in parallel to each other. So here the voltage drop will be less. Here also the voltage drop will be less. Here the voltage drop will be greatest. And all of the current which is flowing through the circuit is also flowing through this lamp P. The electric power used is IV. So the amount flowing through the lamp P is the greatest, largest, and the voltage drop across the P is also largest. So the largest power consumed is by the lamp P, so it will be brightest. So I think P. Question number 33. A is the right choice, sir. Question number 33. A is the right choice. I hope you understand this idea. A digital circuit is made of 2 logic gates. So which row is correct for this digital circuit? Here a truth table is given. We have to choose which one is right. You see, this is OR gate, and then we have this NOT gate. So OR gate and NOT gate are attached. Okay, so I will make its truth table. So OR gate is like addition of the inputs, and NOT gate will invert whatever is the result on Y. So 0, 0, the answer will be 0. And when you invert it, the answer will be 1. 0, 1, the answer will be 1 because you are adding them. So you invert it, the Z will be 0. 1, 0, the answer will be 1. And when you invert it, the answer will be 0. So 1, 1, you add them, it becomes 2, that is 1 in Boolean algebra. So when you invert it, the answer will be 0. So now we have to look which option has the right 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay. 1, 0, 1, 0. So this third one is exactly matching, and none of the others are matching. So C is the option. You can match that truth table with this. Only the C is matching with this truth table. Okay. Understand? Question number 34. C is the right choice. Hopefully you understand this topic is no more in our physics syllabus of the Cambridge O levels. Okay. Question number 35. A magnet is dropped vertically through a solenoid. This induces magnetic poles at the ends of the solenoid. So here we have diagram 1, diagram 2, diagram 3. Look at them carefully. Which magnetic poles are induced at the position X in the diagram 1 and diagram number 3? So basically we are talking about diagram number 1 and diagram number 3. So because here the south pole is coming near the top end of this coil, so that due to the when the current will be induced here, its direction, that is Lenz's law, will be such that it will try to oppose this motion. So here you will have a south pole. My internet was interrupted. I don't know what is happening with this optical fiber internet provided by the optical fiber, and but it's interrupting again and again. So according to the Lenz's law, when the south pole of this magnet approaches the top end of this coil, a south is formed there to oppose this motion. Okay, so now in diagram number 3, a north pole which is facing the lower end of this coil is going away. To oppose this motion, a south pole will be here. So obviously on the top we will have a north pole. So in the diagram 1, you at the point X you will have a south pole, and in the diagram number 3 on the point X you will have a north pole. So what is south north, south north, south north, south north? So I think C is the choice. So let me reduce so you can see the whole thing together. So I think question number 35, C is the answer. That is right. Okay, so we are going to the next question, and that is question number 36. Which transformer can change a 240 volt AC input into a 15 volt AC output? Okay, so the voltage in the secondary is 15 volt, the voltage in the primary is 240 volt. So I can find the ratio Vs by Vp, and I will find the Ns by Np here in all of them. So we will check on in which diagram the both ratios are same. So the Vs by Vp will be 15 divided by 240, and that is 1 by 16. In the A option, the number of turns in the secondary divided by number of turns in the primary, that is 40 divided by 800, and that is 1 by 20. So they do not match. This ratio do not match with this ratio. Okay. In the B option, Ns by Np, the turns in the secondary divided. Once again, there was an interruption in the internet. The company which provides internet in this area is Strom Fiber. The internet is usually good, but I don't know what is happening to it. Right now, okay, so in the B option, the number of turns in the secondary divided by the number of turns in the primary, that's 25 divided by 1000, that is 1 by 40. It do not match with that ratio. Ns by Np for the C option, 15 divided by 2400, that is 1 by 160. So these two ratios do not match with each other. In the D option, the number of turns in the secondary divided by number of turns in the primary, that is 75 divided by 1200, and that is 1 by 16. So that this turn ratio and this voltage ratio match with each other. So Vs by Vp is equals to Ns by Np. So that means D is the option. So question number 36, D is the option. I hope you understand how we have done this. Okay. So question number 36, D is the option, which is the right option, sir. Question number 37 is coming up on your screen. He says, what is the purpose of the split ring commutator in an electric motor? You see, the purpose of the split ring commutator in an electric motor is that after every half revolution of the coil, it reverses the direction of the current in the coil, and due to that, what happens? The force acting on the sides of the coil its direction reverses, and this makes sure that the coil continuously rotate in the same direction. So that's the function of the split ring commutator in an electric motor to ensure that the turning effect on the motor changes direction. No, to ensure that the turning effect on the motor stays in the same direction at all time, so that the motor rotates in the same direction. Okay, so I think D is the option. This statement looks the best to me. Question number 37, D is the right option, sir. Question number 38, how do the size of the two nuclei produced in a nuclear fission reaction compare to the size of the original nucleus? You see, in the nuclear fission, a large nucleus is bombarded with a neutron and it splits into two smaller nuclei. So both smaller than the original nucleus. So C is the right sentence. Question number 38, C is the right answer, sir. Question number 39. Which statement about the radioactive decay of a substance is correct? You see, the radioactive decay is a random process. So you cannot predict that which atom will decay, and you cannot predict that a certain atom will, when it will decay. So you cannot predict too much. So the radioactive decay is a random process. It cannot be predicted when a particular nucleus will decay. That is exactly what random means. Placing a radioactive substance inside a lead box prevents it from decaying. Okay, no. It decays always produces poisonous gases. No. The rate of decay increases if the substance is dissolved in water. That is totally wrong. Question number 39. A is the option, sir. That is the right option. Then we have the question number on your screen, the question number 40. Okay, the diagram shows a stream of beta particles traveling in a line that passes between the poles of a magnet. In which direction will the beta particles be deflected by the magnet? Remember, the beta particles are negatively charged. So I'm going to use the left-hand rule, but remember, the left-hand rule is not about the negative charges, it is about the positive charge, but I'm still going to apply the left-hand rule. So this is my left hand, so you should also take your left hand. I'm talking about my left hand. So strike these three fingers so that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. The thumb, the forefinger, and the middle finger. The thumb shows you the direction of the deflection in which the charged particle experience force. This forefinger represents the magnetic field from north to south, and this middle finger show you the motion of the charged particle. It shows the direction of the current. The magnetic field is downward. The magnetic field is basically downward. The charged particles are going in this way. My thumb is pointing in that direction. So which means if you will do it yourself, you will see this is into the page. But this law is not about negative charges. It is about positive charges. So the positive charges, because this is negative charges, so whatever your thumb is showing you the direction, the beta particle will go opposite to this. So my thumb is saying that the beta particles will bend into the page. So that means the beta particles will basically go out of the page, because this law is about the positive charges, but the beta particles are negative charges. So they will deflect opposite to what my left hand thumb is predicting. So negative beta particles will go out of the page. So I think question number 40, D is the right option, sir. I just forgot to write here. I hope you understand what I am saying. Question number 40, D is the right choice, sir. Okay, so my dear students, there were 40 questions and we have done all of them. In this video, I have presented you the solution of this paper to the best of my knowledge, my abilities, my skills. I hope that this video will be helpful to you. If you think this video is useful, is helpful to you, please like this video, also subscribe my channel, and share the link of this video with your class fellows, with your junior students, with your teachers. Share the link of this video on TikTok, share the link of this video on your WhatsApp groups, Share the link of this video on your Facebook accounts, and share the link of this video on Instagram. Share the link of this video on Snapchat and all the social medias which you are using. Please share the link of this video. When you do this, you help me, you support me, and this is very important for me. I think that it's a blessing for me that I can make these videos which can touch the life of so many students around the globe, and which can make the life of so many students a little easier, their parents' life little easier, their teachers' life little easier. Keep studying hard, and keep studying smartly. Keep watching my videos as well. So thank you very much. Have a good day, and God bless you all.